Hey, what is up guys? In today's episode, I'm gonna install a 9-inch CarPlay screen because I am bored of these buttons on my 2009 Honda EXL to look from this to this. Since I will have a CarPlay, I don't really need a distracting phone holder anymore. Let's get started. You will need a plastic pry tool of any kind, a ratchet to remove the 8mm bolts which you can get from the nearest hardware store, and optionally, I always like to have a window cleaner and a microfiber cloth. Alright, I'm gonna first remove this trim around the gear knob, and that's because it makes it easier to remove the AC controller and I can get access to the two 8mm bolts behind it, which you will see in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and put the car in neutral gear so I can have access to these 8mm bolts and start removing the trim. As you saw in the time lapse, it took some struggle to remove the trim, but slowly and steadily, I was able to take it out and pull the AC controller along with it. I'm gonna unplug the AC controller and keep it aside for later. Fortunately, in the Honda CRV models, the AC controller is completely separate from the radio unit, which makes it easier for any aftermarket CarPlay upgrade. And this is why we don't need a CAN bus here as compared to my previous CarPlay installation on my 2007 Lexus IS. Here are the two 8mm bolts I mentioned earlier. There are two at the bottom and two on the top. To get access to the two bolts on the top, I'm going to remove the trim on the top here so that I can pry open the AC ducts. The easiest way to do this is by first prying open the AC duct and then pulling it towards you. I do apologize for the constant autofocus. I should have locked it before. Once the AC duct trim is out, we don't technically have to unplug it. For now, I will just keep it out of my way so I can remove the 4 bolts of the radio unit. Alright, after removing the bolts, gently pull the head unit outwards and it should come out easy. And now I will unplug the OEM connections. And before I do that, I want to see where the OEM connections are actually going so that I can refer back to it in case I need it. As you can see, there are 4 connectors going into the OEM radio unit, and by default, there is a port left empty from factory. At the moment, I don't know what this is for, but if they kept it empty from factory, I don't really have to worry about it. To remove these connectors, simply press on the clip on the top or on the side to unlock the connectors and they should come out easy. Alright, the factory radio unit is completely out, and as you can see on the back side, there are 4 ports that I disconnected, and surprisingly, this doubled-in OEM unit is very heavy. Now let's unbox the 9-inch intelligent CarPlay screen. The reason why I chose this specific CarPlay unit is because this CarPlay unit is unlike any other screens available in the market, because this screen supports 360 camera, which you will find in the latest cars only. And that gives you the bird's eye view of the car surroundings while you reverse, while turning sides, or when you want to park the car. Inside the box, you will find all the looms and harnesses for this screen, which I will explain in a second. The first package has the GPS and RCA cables, which is for audio and video. The next package is the OEM to aftermarket converter wires, and this has the inbuilt antenna and other audio and video cables which we will connect to the CarPlay screen. Next is the 9-inch CarPlay screen itself, which impressively is very securely packaged. But before that, let me show you the 360 camera that I mentioned earlier. The concept is very simple. You will have a front camera coupled with a rear camera and 2 side cameras for left and right looking glasses. These cameras are designed to be plug and play after you install them because the CarPlay screen has an inbuilt 360 camera chip and also has the app pre-installed. Along with this, you will also find some tools and sealing rubbers so you can install the cameras and waterproof it. And these are the long cables that go around the car so you can have your cameras connected properly. I'm going to install the camera in the next episode hopefully, because it is freezing outside and I want to film the installation properly for you guys. Now let's unpack the unit. The product looks absolutely stunning, very lightweight and feels very high quality. No broken edges or clips as you can see, and obviously I'm a big fan of Mighty Tech Store as you have seen in the past. I also installed their CarPlay screen on my 2007 Lexus IS 350, which was very much liked and supported by all of you guys. And obviously, I do have high expectation from this product too. This unit also comes with an inbuilt fan to keep the processor cool for a smooth user experience. I'm going to put a link in the description. If you guys are interested, do check it out. Along with this unit, you will also get 2 USB connectors, so you can connect external devices such as a flash drive or an ADAS dash camera. Next cable is the RCA, which is for audio, video, external subwoofer, AUX cable, mic, etc. And this is the reverse camera cable separately for an aftermarket reverse camera. And this is the GPS antenna, which is a simple screw right there. And finally, this is the power cable, which converts the OEM wiring and powers the CarPlay screen. The power cable includes an antenna, steering wheel control, and other features. So let's start wiring with the power cable. I'm going to plug it into the power port, and technically the connectors and the ports have unique size and shapes. So if you plan to install this CarPlay for the first time, it's going to make it really easy for you to identify and connect. I'm going to connect the antenna to the port that says A and T, and next we have the RCA cable, and I'll connect this port here. Make sure to hear a click sound when you connect these to the ports. I'm also going to connect the fan cable to the AYT connector here, which basically is just provided to support the fan, which you can control from the screen. Next we have the GPS. I will screw it in tightly just by hand. Now let's connect the reverse camera cable to the port that has 10 pins. Put it in until you hear the click. And now we can connect the 2 USB cables, where one USB has 4 pins and the other has 6 pins, which is essentially the same wiring, but their connectors are just different to identify them. Finally, we have the 360 camera, which comes with the right, left, front, and rear connections, and this will connect to the port on the top right. Technically, if you install a 360 camera, you don't need to install a separate reverse camera, so you can set up your 360 camera to activate whenever you turn either sides, reverse, or in the parking mode. This CarPlay screen also has an inbuilt mic, but I'm going to go ahead and install the external mic for clear and loud voice capture. Alright, now this is the exciting part. I'm going to connect the 9-inch CarPlay screen and see where it sits, and believe me, this screen is so light, I feel like I literally took off 5 kilograms as a weight reduction. The connector ports has the same shape of the OEM connectors, which fits right in. As you can see, I had to leave out the green connector, which is the subwoofer cable that comes only exclusively for the EXL models, and Honda claims that this subwoofer is 275 watts, but I hardly ever felt any difference. So I'm just gonna skip this subwoofer cable. This green cable also has connection to your AUX port. If I have CarPlay, I wouldn't be using AUX anyways. I haven't used the AUX port ever since the time I owned this car, but in case if you still want to use it on your EXL models, the RCA cable that I showed you earlier also has the AUX port, which you can connect it and extend it later on. For your Honda CRVs, regardless of the EXL model, the normal speakers and the audio should work with full capacity without this green plug. Alright, now I've placed the screen in its position, and I will turn on the car to see if it works. As soon as I put the car in battery mode, the screen turned on super fast. So satisfying to peel this plastic. And this is the 360 app I mentioned earlier, which will work after I install the cameras. The CarPlay works absolutely stunning and is very smooth. The steering wheel controls work smoothly, and even if they don't, you will also have the option to configure your steering wheel buttons to a certain action from the CarPlay screen. I am very happy with this screen, so I'm gonna go ahead and close up everything the same way I took them out. The CarPlay screen sits tight because of the supporting terms on the top and bottom, which is why I didn't even have to use a single screw in the whole installation. Make sure to apply your parking brakes and put the car in neutral gear before putting the AC controls to make it easier. And I did take out the external mic from the side of the AC control, and I'm gonna tuck it in later on. Check this out, the CarPlay screen absolutely looks phenomenal. I am super happy with the screen, the quality, and the overall looks. This 15-year-old Honda CRV is almost modern now, which I guess will be more modern with the 360 camera. The colors just pop out great. Siri works absolutely smooth with the CarPlay. The map is accurate, and now I can easily command my car to navigate or play on Spotify. I can always watch YouTube or browse the internet when I'm not driving. Let's check the audio. I definitely recommend this product, and as always, if you learned something new, hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you on the next one.